Directions. In Part A, you will hear short conversations between two people. After each conversation, you will hear a question about the conversation. The conversations and questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your test book and choose the best answer. Then, on your answer sheet, find the number of the question and fill in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Now we will begin Part A with the first conversation.
Number 1.
Oh, this headache. Do you have any aspirin? On the way back from the grocery store, I went right past the pharmacy, but I forgot to pick some up.
Sorry, I don't, but there's another one just down the street that's open 24 hours.
What does the man suggest the woman do?
Number 2.
Gary, what took you so long?
Do you have any idea how hard it is to find this place?
Why was the man late? Number 3.
I got my grades in the mail, and there was a mistake in my mark for your course.
I know. There was a problem with the computer system. It should be straightened out by next week.
What does the woman mean? Number 4.
I thought the department store was open late from Tuesday through Friday night.
No, just Thursdays and Fridays.
On what nights is the store open late? Number 5.
Excuse me, could you by any chance tell me where the dean's office is?
I'm sorry, I'm just visiting a friend here.
What can be inferred about the man? Number 6.
Are you sure this is what I ordered? This looks like chicken salad.
Oh, I'm sorry. You ordered the tuna salad, didn't you? I'll be right back with it.
What does the woman mean? Number 7.
Have you seen the doctor about your skin condition yet?
Oh, it's not a problem anymore. I found an ointment that works just fine.
What does the man imply? Number 8.
Need a ride home?
Thanks, but my apartment is just around the corner. Besides, I need the fresh air.
What will the woman probably do? Number 9.
Joan, did you pick up your student identification card?
No, I had Kathy get it for me.
What happened to the card? Number 10.
Will you be driving to school this year?
Unfortunately, I can't afford a car yet.
What does the man mean? Number 11.
So you're spending the holiday weekend in Washington, D.C.?
Yes, my cousin lives there, and he'll put me up.
What does the woman mean? Number 12.
My wife and I would like to have you over for dinner on Friday.
That's very kind of you, but I have theater tickets for that evening.
What does the woman mean? Number 13.
I don't think I'm ever going to find this article that Professor Frazier told me about.
Go to the reference desk. Someone there can tell you how to track it down.
What does the woman suggest the man do? Number 14.
I'm confused about the requirements for this course. Do you know what they are?
It's sort of complicated, but I have a rough idea.
What does the man mean? Number 15.
If you could only wait another 5 minutes, I'm sure the manager will be free to answer your questions.
I'm sorry, but I just can't wait any longer. I have to get to class.
How does the man feel? Number 16.
I hope you remembered to pick up my clothes from the cleaners.
I couldn't go because the car wouldn't start.
What does the man mean? Number 17.
I must have told Mike 5 times not to forget the meeting, and he still missed it.
Well, you know Mike. Everything's in one ear and out the other.
What can be inferred about Mike? Number 18.
Have you seen John since he started wearing contact lenses?
I almost didn't recognize him at first.
What does the woman mean? Number 19.
I still don't feel well. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I think the health center's open late tonight.
What does the man imply the woman should do? Number 20.
Say, Richard, if you like antique cars, we've got an extra ticket for the auto show on Saturday. Care to join us?
Gee, how could I turn down an offer like that?
What does the man mean? Number 21.
That new soap I've been using lately smells nice, but it dries my skin out.
It's probably all those harsh chemicals. You should try the kind I use. It's all natural.
What does the man suggest the woman do? Number 22.
That bread I bought yesterday isn't in the kitchen. Someone must have eaten it.
Look on top of the refrigerator.
What does the woman imply? Number 23.
Can you believe this great gift Sharon sent you?
I know. She really has a heart of gold.
What can be inferred about Sharon? Number 24.
I heard you auditioned for the chorus. How'd it go?
Oh, well, the director has pretty high standards. I guess I just didn't measure up.
What can be inferred about the man? Number 25.
The weather is certainly unusual for this time of year.
Yeah, so warm and humid.
What does the man imply? Number 26.
Basketball practice doesn't take a lot of time, does it?
Only every spare minute.
What does the man imply about basketball practice? Number 27.
What are you doing here? You're not in the film class.
I changed my schedule. Movies are a good change of pace from all these chemistry experiments.
What does the man mean? Number 28.
Waiting in line to copy just one page of an article wastes so much time.
Have you ever tried the photocopier on the 3rd floor of the library? I don't think as many people know about it.
What does the man suggest that the woman do? Number 29.
With all of these typos in this resume, you're not going to make a very good impression.
Good thing it's on the word processor.
What will the man probably do? Number 30.
I have 2 exams and 3 papers to get done in the next couple of days.
How'd you get so backed up?
What does the woman imply about the man?
This is the end of Part A. Go on to the next page.
Now read along as the directions for Part B are being read. The test continues on side 2. Part B. Directions. In this part of the test, you will hear longer conversations. After each conversation, you will hear several questions. The conversations and questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your test book and choose the best answer. Then, on your answer sheet, find the number of the question and fill in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Remember, you are not allowed to take notes or write in your test book. Go on to the next page. Questions 31 through 35. Listen to a conversation between 2 friends.
Ow! That hurts.
What happened? Did you cut yourself?
Yes, on the edge of this paper. How can such a little cut hurt so much? I'm not even bleeding, but my finger really hurts.
You know, I read something about that. It turns out that a little cut on a finger can hurt a lot more than a big cut somewhere else.
Why? That doesn't make any sense.
Actually, it does. There are more nerve endings in your hands than almost anywhere else in the body, and it's the nerve endings that allow you to feel pain.
Well, I guess that's true.
Also, a little cut like yours won't damage the nerve endings, just irritate them. If they were damaged, you'd feel less pain, but the wound could be more serious.
So I suppose I should be happy my finger hurts so much?
Right. Now, go get yourself a bandage.
Why? You just told me it's not serious.
It's not, but it does seem to be bothering you. Putting a bandage over the cut will keep the skin from drying and will help keep the skin together. If the skin stays together, the nerve endings won't be exposed, and the cut will hurt less.
Number 31. How did the man cut himself? Number 32. What surprised the man? Number 33. According to the woman, what determines how painful a cut is? Number 34. What advice does the woman give the man? Number 35. What will the man probably do about the cut on his finger? Questions 36 through 38. Listen to an interview with an environmental microbiologist.
Today's guest on Science Update is David Brown. Dr. Brown, you and your team have found bacteria far below the Earth's surface. You must be thrilled about your discovery.
Well, yes, it's very exciting. For a long time we'd suspected the presence of such organisms, but we lacked substantial evidence.
How did you confirm the existence of the bacteria?
Well, technology helped. Our drilling techniques have improved significantly, and so the risk that surface bacteria could be mistaken for those found at much greater depth was reduced. With the new techniques, we could get much deeper into the Earth.
How far down did you actually get?
In one case, about 3 kilometers. We were surprised, I must tell you, that there were organisms that far down.
You know, it sounds like fiction, something like a lost world.
Let's call it a hidden biosphere, and it's probably a very extensive one. The mass of the living organisms below the surface may be equal in size to the mass of the surface bacteria.
Have you found any unique life forms?
Yes, one of the organisms is the first anaerobic bacillus ever discovered. That means it can live and grow only where there is no oxygen.
Is there any danger of these bacteria infecting people when you bring them to the surface?
The bacteria in question were adapted to an environment that's hostile and alien to humans. Conversely, these anaerobic bacteria could not survive in our environment, so we really don't need to worry about these bacteria causing illness in people.
Number 36. What is the main topic of the interview? Number 37. What aspect of the hidden biosphere does the man discuss? Number 38. According to the man, why is there no danger of infection by the bacteria?
This is the end of Part B. Go on to the next page. Now read along with me as I read the directions for Part C. Remember, you should not read ahead or turn the pages while the directions for this part are being read. Part C. Directions. In this part of the test, you will hear several talks. After each talk, you will hear some questions. The talks and questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your test book and choose the best answer. Then, on your answer sheet, find the number of the question and fill in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Remember, you are not allowed to take notes or write in your test book. Now we will begin Part C with the first talk.
Questions 39 through 42. Listen to a professor talk to new students about an experiment in child development.
In our lab today, we'll be testing the hypothesis that babies can count as early as 5 months of age. The 6 babies here are all less than 6 months old. You will be watching them on closed-circuit TV and measuring their responses. The experiment is based on the well-established observation that babies stare longer if they don't see what they expect to see. First, we're going to let 2 dolls move slowly in front of the babies. The babies will see the 2 dolls disappear behind a screen. Your job is to record in seconds how long the babies stare at the dolls when the screen is removed. In the next stage, 2 dolls will again move in front of the babies and disappear, but then a third doll will follow. When the screen is removed, the babies will only see 2 dolls. If we're right, the babies will now stare longer because they expect 3 dolls but only see 2. It seems remarkable to think that such young children can count. My own research has convinced me that they have this ability from birth. But whether they do or not, perhaps we should raise another question. Should we take advantage of this ability by teaching children mathematics at such a young age? They have great untapped potential, but is it good for parents to pressure young children?
Number 39. What is the experiment designed to demonstrate? Number 40. Which of the baby's reactions would be significant for the purposes of the experiment? Number 41. How does the professor explain the baby's behavior? Number 42. What implication of her research is the professor concerned about? Questions 43 through 46. Listen to a talk given by a tour guide.
Before starting our tour of Monticello, I'd like to give you some historical facts that might help you appreciate what you see today even more. Monticello was the very much loved home of Thomas Jefferson for over 50 years. Jefferson, who was of course president, was also a great reader and language enthusiast. He read widely on different subjects, including architecture. He wasn't formally trained in architecture, but as a result of his study and observation of other buildings, he was able to help design and build the house. He chose the site himself, naming the estate Monticello, which means little mountain in Italian. In fact, many of the ideas behind the design also came from the Italian architect Andrea Palladio, who lived in the 16th century and who had a great influence on the architecture of England. Jefferson, however, ignored one of Palladio's principles, that is, not to build in a high place. Monticello's elevation made the transportation of what was needed at the house, for example food, especially difficult. But the view from the estate would not be as spectacular if Jefferson had followed Palladio's advice. There really is no boundary between the house and the nature around it, and so Jefferson was able to look out on his beloved state of Virginia from this wonderful vantage point. Now we'll go on to Jefferson's library.
Number 43. What is the purpose of the talk? Number 44. How did Jefferson learn about Palladio's ideas? Number 45. In what way did Jefferson go against the advice of Palladio? Number 46. According to the speaker, what is the advantage of Monticello's location? Questions 47 through 50. Listen to the beginning of a talk on astronomy.
Most people think of astronomers as people who spend their time in cold observatories peering through telescopes every night. In fact, a typical astronomer spends most of his or her time analyzing data and may only be at the telescope a few weeks of the year. Some astronomers work on purely theoretical problems and never use a telescope at all. You might not know how rarely images are viewed directly through telescopes. The most common way to observe the skies is to photograph them. The process is very simple. First, a photographic plate is coated with a light-sensitive material. The plate is positioned so that the image received by the telescope is recorded on it. Then the image can be developed, enlarged, and published so that many people can study it. Because most astronomical objects are very remote, the light we receive from them is rather feeble. But by using a telescope as a camera, long time exposures can be made. In this way, objects can be photographed that are 100 times too faint to be seen by just looking through a telescope.
Number 47. According to the speaker, what do people often think about astronomers? Number 48. What is one advantage of photographing the skies? Number 49. Why do astronomers often use photographic plates? Number 50. What is one reason astronomers make long time exposures?